that you're all warmed up, how about a full-on drift event?
Freedom that we get.
enter the world of muscle cars. Beware, you may never want to leave. Muscle cars are more than just a 70-year-old car trend. It's an entire chunk of the American car culture. To tons of people, muscle cars are the epitome of what a vehicle should represent. Allure and power, with some crucial tweaks, and just the right amount of outside-of-the-box thinking. Cars in their fullest might and glory. There's no standard definition of a muscle car. They are sometimes described as American-made two-door sports cars with a powerful engine. But that's a little reductive, don't you think? Others define them by their V8 engines and rear-wheel drivetrains. The truth is, muscle cars are a philosophy. It's a creed more than anything else. Want to experience it for yourself? Well, good news. We're almost there. The American dream. It's punch it or punch out. No way around it. Expect the first event to be a warm-up. Things will get tough real fast. But you'll be backed up by one of the festival's closest partners, Jim Hayfield, a rock star among car collectors. not a figure of speech. Jim's an actual rock star who just so happens to own one of the greatest muscle car collections in the world. He's the person lending us all the cars you'll drive during this playlist, and he's got quite the lineup.
That we get, and yeah, spread the joy of flying.
Now, I come from a drifting background, and I was around cars from a very, very young age, and it was actually my dad who sort of ignited that in me, because I remember seeing him playing with his race car in the garage. It was the same kind of for you, wasn't it? You went to an air show when you were a very small boy, and then that was it, you were hooked.
Yeah, absolutely. My spark ignited when I was 6 years old. My dad took me to the air show in Poland. And it's just been amazing. You know, I was watching a robotic display and the aircraft was doing a tail slide. It's a figure where you go vertically up and it seems like you're shutting down the engine and the aircraft starts to slide back on its tail. And I saw it as a 6-year-old kid and I was like, Dad, I'm gonna do it in the future. And you know, many 6-year-old kids have different dreams every week. Sometimes you want to be a policeman, the week after you want to be a fireman. But for me, it has never changed. I've been flying now for 26 years and I still love it.
That's absolutely crazy that you just picked your direction and just stuck with it. I mean, your first flight lesson, you were 14 years old, and then by 16 you'd got your license. So there was definitely method in your madness. This was all moving towards where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was so motivated. Like from this air show, I started playing with aircraft models, free-flying models, and then I just went to the airport and I became what's known as a hangar rat. You know, cleaning the airplanes for everyone. And in exchange, they would take me for a flight and usually let me fly the aircraft, give me the first lessons. By the time I went solo at 16, I was over the moon. It's been a lot of hard work, but so rewarding as well.
Luke, we were just saying to you just then, flying was always going to be what you were going to do. And I'm going to give you a question, which I almost feel like I know what the answer is already. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
Yeah, of course I'd go for a plane, but you know, this is what my life is all about. It's always been about flying. I have 13,500 hours in the year. That's like 4 years of my life. 10% of my life has been spent in the air. So yeah, I just want to be a better pilot with every flight I take.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt. I mean, we saw and heard it at the beginning of the episode. Personally, for me, I remember seeing that, and I watched the video and I had a heart attack and was like, oh my God. But obviously I know that this guy made this happen because everyone's celebrating it, but I couldn't cope with it.
I almost got a heart attack on the first one as well. It was incredibly difficult project that we did. Landing a plane in such a short distance, it's not something very unusual.
The tag's right there. A heartbeat, the song of a V8, music on. Turn up the volume if you dare.
For this kind of aircraft, but landing the plane on a small helipad that is 600 feet in the air, you know, 200 meters above sea level, that hasn't been done before, and it comes with a lot of difficulties. One of those difficulties is that the shape of the building created very special wind vortices, like a little tornadoes coming off the building, hitting the helipad, and these tornadoes wanted to suck in my aircraft and throw it towards the building. And that's what happened on the first two attempts when the winds were quite strong. So usually if you try to land short, you want a lot of wind because the wind will assist you, but not on a helipad. On a helipad, the less wind we had was easier to fly with the plane. So yeah, all in all, it took me like 650 practice landings before I went for the actual landing on the helipad, and the first two attempts on the helipad on a windy day, they were, yeah, not very successful, and then we had to reset and try again the day after, so that was quite challenging.
I feel like the stakes are quite high, especially when you're doing something like that as well. Not only are you on like the Red Bull World stage creating a moment in history, there's the practical element of it as well, of trying to land this thing on a really tall building.
Yeah, so for me, being the best pilot I can be, it's, you know, it's the most rewarding. I'm not doing any of this for fame or money or whatever. I'm just doing it to show that, you know, I'm good, and I always want to be the best I can be. And I think we proved with this project that that was one of the toughest things I ever did with the plane, and now we can see how successful the project was. We have like way over 1 billion views on the videos all over the platforms. So.
That's brilliant. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, for you guys that are listening at home, air sport, the sky is literally the limit with this.